All right, so we're recording. Thanks for joining us, Jake. We have Jake Shane today with us. He's our Songwriter Contest. He won a finalist spot in week 2. And Jake, you're living in Spain today, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Madrid. That's
Madrid.
right.
Wow. Now you've been all over the place. You know, I read your bio after we picked you. Coming from Illinois, you just give us a little feel for what you've been through.
Yeah, I was, was raised in Illinois, and then for college I moved to Nashville and was there for 4 years, and then I moved to Spain for the first time. Stayed here a couple of years, and eventually moved back to the States. And that's when I started moving around a bit more frequently. So I was back in Nashville, and then I was in places like New York and New Mexico, DC, a lot of places, and all the time kind of going back and forth to Spain because I missed it. A lot of my friends were here. And so 3 years ago, I decided I might as well just move back here. So that's what I did. Yeah.
So that's obviously your favorite place.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite city. And yeah, it's good quality of life here. I really enjoy it.
Does it influence your songwriting to live in Spain, but you've been through so many parts of America?
It certainly has. I don't know how much it continues to influence my songwriting, but certainly the album I wrote when I lived here the first time that I composed during the first 2 years is just inundated with influences from Spain, from the flamenco guitar that I played on the record to the imagery of the country, and certainly some of the effects of the Spanish language seeped in to the lyrics. So I didn't write lyrics in Spanish for the record, but I don't know, kind of the syntax of the language and certainly things like that. Poetry from Spain really influenced my songwriting at the time.
Oh.
So for a while, I was really under the influence of this of this country. Yeah.
So do you still tour in the States?
I haven't really. I went home for the first time in a couple years over the holidays, and I played a few shows just to keep busy.
Okay.
But I haven't done a big tour of the States since 2015, really.
Wow. Well, if you do end up winning, you can always let the second place one get your fest gig.
I'd make it over. I'd make it over.
Well, it would be wonderful. And we're looking forward to the 12 spots. The first week we had 2 weeks, we had enough people. We thought we could make a whole festival out of all the submissions.
Oh, that's great.
They've been wonderful. Your guitar expertise is intense. Do you write the words with the music at the same time? Do you find yourself with a melody and finding words, or how is your process?
Yeah, great question. For a long time, the lyrics almost always kind of came first, or at least a version of the lyrics, a draft, a verse or a chorus or something. Mm-hmm. And then I would start to integrate the music into it to kind of solidify the structure. Although more recently, I've become less militant at that, and I've started kind of hanging on to different melodic ideas and chord progressions that have come to inspire some new songs that I've been writing. And so it's nice to have that balance. There's always a balance. So I'm never just writing all of the lyrics first or just the music, but they kind of end up working together, and one or the other is the initial spark. Yeah. But they definitely play a role. I
Well,
try to balance.
the initial spark is always that muse talking to you. Where does the muse find you more often than not?
um, well, the muse finds me usually when I cut off the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it could be I could be anywhere, but
Yeah.
if I don't have the internet on, then it's much more much more likely to find me. I
We're
find.
definitely we're definitely more of a distraction, aren't we, online than anything else. I tend to find it on my commute to work. 30-minute commute, silence. If I turn the radio off, silence really is golden when you're writing.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now you have to tell me about Old Boy Records. With John Prine recently passing away, and of course he was always my hero. Um, how did you end up being at Old Boy, and what did you do? Did you meet John?
Yeah. Well, so I went to Belmont University in Nashville, and
Mhm.
originally I was majoring in music business there. So I guess when was that? I went to college in 2008, and sophomore year I got an internship at Oh Boy Records, and then they kept me on after that, and I subsequently dropped the music business major and picked up philosophy instead. That
Oh,
was more interesting, and I was already working in the music business, so I figured
you got the
experience,
experience.
if I wanted to continue on, the experience
Sure.
would definitely say something. But I ended up working there on and off for 3 years, I guess.
Mm.
um it was a very small office, just like 4 or 5 people if Al Bonetta was in there, the manager. And so I would meet John on Fridays when he came to pick up his paycheck or something. And fortunate that he always remembered my name. He was just treated me so well. I don't have anything, but great things to say about him. And it was just it was really interesting because when I went down to Nashville for the first time to like look at colleges, I remember that me and my dad played the Missing Years album like in the truck on the way down, you know, just listening to it. And then I completely, kind of forgot about that. And it was super interesting that I ended up being involved in that. And they had me do everything. It's such a small company that I did everything from answer emails to, mail orders to, help put together a couple of things. That's a songwriting book that came out, going through the archives, anything and everything, really.
Uh,
Yeah.
I can lay claim that John kind of influenced my writing. Who's your biggest influence?
Uh, lyrically, lyrically, it's Cohen and Dylan.
Okay.
Um, those are the two I surely have been influenced or kind of have scrutinized the most,
Hmm.
and kind of I hold them up. But musically, I started playing guitar before I started writing songs. And so I kind of followed the typical path of, you know, you start with classic rock and then you find your way to uh, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and
Yeah.
then you and then you trace the way back to Robert Johnson, and that happened within the first couple years of starting to play, and the blues has been a huge influence on me since my childhood.
Oh,
And and then I found my way to Dylan through Hendrix. On that, there was that live record. He played Like a Rolling Stone on it, and I thought, I think I've got the vinyl somewhere of the original of that tune, and I was like 14 or
yeah.
something. And so I put on Highway 61, and that was definitely a pivotal moment for
That's
me.
that's an excellent vinyl to copy too. The Destination Road goes on forever, and
Yeah.
his writing is just intense in that song.
Right.
You know, we talked a little bit earlier about you're all over the place, and you must be bilingual by this time. Can you?
Yeah, I am. I am. I
Yeah.
mean, bilingual in a sense, not bilingual. Um, for all intents and purposes, I'm bilingual, but
They don't
not
fake
not
you
like
out.
someone, not like an American who grew up going to school here. You know,
Okay,
someone can still tell that I'm not a native speaker,
I got you.
but of course I don't have any trouble communicating, understanding, or anything like that.
So you don't find yourself trying to write in the other language?
Um, at certain points, I've done a bit of that,
Mhm.
but at least up till now, I haven't really found a voice in Spanish. It always kind of, the songs end up being just a bit silly. You know, I can't write anything. Not that there's anything wrong with silly,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can't find. It's definitely not the same voice as English. So um, I keep saying, you know, all right, do an EP in Spanish or something, and at some point I might, but it's hard enough to write in my own language. So
I have a friend, a musician who just cannot write love songs. So she's been working on little snippets, and she'll say, and they end up being funny verses, you know, or funny little uh, 40-second songs that
yeah,
she's struggling. You know, she just is not a love song writer. So
right,
um,
yeah,
yeah, well, that's all I really had questions for you. How are you doing?
yeah. All right. Um, they've eased the lockdown here,
Yeah.
especially at the beginning of this week. So they got rid of the um, the curfew, so we can go out whenever we want. Um, but you know, for over 2 months, it was very strict. You know, I hardly left the apartment. I would leave the apartment to go to the grocery store,
Yeah.
or you know, bring a friend food who was sick, and that was it. Um, so yeah, it's okay. Obviously, I've had a lot of time to play guitar. I've had I, I've had over 50 concerts canceled already.
Wow.
So and I was just beginning my season really. So I was in Germany when I got word that they were probably going to shut down Spain, and so I flew back and had only played a couple shows, and yeah, and then then everything stopped.
Mm.
So it's been difficult in one sense that I haven't been able to work, you know, in the financial sense, but I have been able to work on my craft, and so I've been lucky in that regard, you know.
And you found us, so thank you very much.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. I guess I found you through the that music group. What's it
Yeah,
called? The viral
kindness,
music.
yeah, is contagious or something like that.
Yeah, because everyone started to, you know, musicians immediately had to start figuring out how to monetize their music online,
Yeah,
which we've all been putting off. You know?
yeah. And
And so, of
I'm not a big fan of Spotify because it doesn't pay you guys enough. But
course, it's yeah, it's you know, less than pennies, less
yeah,
than pennies.
yeah,
But yeah, so I guess everyone started doing online concerts, which was interesting to learn. You know, it's not the same, obviously, and there's a bit of a lag, and you get done playing, and it's just it's just silence and you wait for like the comments to come in. But it was something, you know, something to kind of keep, something that kind of kept me in form a bit, you know. Well, I have to play a concert, and so I'll keep rehearsing, and that group was cool for that. And thanks for posting about the contest for sure.
The if you do win, you're going to come back to somebody who lives in Illinois and say hi to them. Do you have family up there yet?
Oh, absolutely. I would totally take advantage. I would try to book a whole tour.
Yep.
For sure. And
Yep.
my family, my mom and dad are in Illinois still,
Cool.
so I would go there, and you know, I've got friends in different places in the States. Never too far from somebody I know, especially since a lot of the former expats here have ended up moving back, and you know,
All
you know
right.
how it is. But yeah, it'd be cool.
Well, thank you for being our part of our finalists. Thank you for your time on talking about songwriting, and hope and wish you the best of luck.
Dave, thanks so much. Thanks so much for this, and paying attention to the contest.
Yep. And
It's
we'll be
cool. It's a cool thing that you're doing. I really appreciate it, and especially during this time to encourage people to donate to help out songwriters. It's a really great thing. So I really appreciate it.
no problem. I've been enjoying the music, and I've been posting the Bandcamp links so that people can go out and buy your music. Hopefully,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I've had some people buy it through finding out through the contest. So it's really
Well, that's
been wonderful.
wonderful. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what part of what we thought we'd do. We've been running the songwriting contest for over 10 years. And as we said, back and said we couldn't have a festival, we said, well, we could do this online. And we're shaking it out, and hoping that everybody kind of connects with each other and has fun and buys a little music. And we've met people like yourself. Next week, I'm going to talk to Amanda Pascali, and she's from Houston. Some real interesting people have put their name in the hat. And by the time we're done, 12 finalists, we're going to be that would be an awesome festival just to have the 12 finalists in there. So.
Yeah, cool. Very cool.
All right. Well, it's been very fun. So thank you very much, Jake. Nice to meet you.
Thanks again.
All right.
All right,
Take care.
you too. We'll keep in touch. All right, thanks, Dave.
Bye.